everybody, welcome to My Creative Time with Emma. Okay, today I actually have to make several thank you cards. So I decided to play with this, and I can't believe I haven't even opened it. I actually just literally loaded it into my Gypsy last night. Now, this cartridge is a little different. Now, if anybody follows me, you know my style's simple. It's not too intricate or anything like this. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not my style. But it definitely has some potential because I discovered they have these border features which are really pretty. So I decided to go with this border right here. I'm going to be using that for my card. And we have a little French Manor meets Live Simply. I decided to use this Live Simply Cricut Light cartridge, which I have not used yet. Here we go. These three flowers right there, but they're not going to be complete. They're not going to look exactly like that because I made them a little different. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I designed this in my Gypsy right now. Okay, here goes the border. That was on that cartridge. So what I want to do, I want to make a frame, like to frame my card. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this over. So click my Advanced tab, click on the copy feature, and I'm going to flip it so it could be backwards. And actually it flipped pretty perfectly because I want this to be 5 inches across, and then when I flipped it over it actually went perfectly on there. So that's that part. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this one over here, and I'm going to copy this one also, bring it down, but I'm going to flip that upside down. So this is the feature I'm going to use, and that's going to go right here. So I want this to be like 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, perfect. There, 4 inches. So now I'm going to get this and I'm going to copy it over, and I'm going to do the flip feature again this way and just scooch it on over there. You see? Now each one of these, just so let me give you the measurement on here. Like for one of this, the height is 1.24. Okay, and that was the perfect size for it to be, so it could be perfectly 4. Actually, it's going to be 4 inches up and down, and 5 inches. Actually, you know what? I think I wanted to make it 5¼ inches. So let me move this over. Okay, 5¼ inches across and then 4 inches up and down. So now what I'm going to do, so make sure it all cuts in one, I'm going to go ahead and weld this together. So I'm going to click on this group feature there and just click on them, all 4 of them, until they all turn blue. Click on my Advanced tab, and this is turned on, my little welding feature. So I'm going to click on my eyeball to make sure that it is all welded together, in which it is, because you see how all the gray parts in between are gray, so it's all going to cut out as one. So now the flowers I chose to use were from Live Simply because I couldn't quite pinpoint what I wanted to put on the inside of the frame, so I kind of wanted this to be a fun, happy card. So let me go ahead and zoom in for you so you could see here. These are the flowers right here. What I did was I hid this part right here, so I'm going to click hide. I hid that part only because I only wanted this flower to cut here, because each flower is going to be in a different color, okay? So that's pretty much how I did it. So what I did was I copied this over and I hid these two so I could have the yellow one. So let me go so you could see that. So this is what I'm talking about right here. Let me zoom in for you. You see how I have just that one showing, only because that's going to be cut. I believe that one's going to get cut in the terracotta paper, and I got to use all my new paper that I showed you in my last video. And this one here also, let me zoom in. You see how I hid everything to the right of that one, because this one, I only want to use that one, and that's going to be cut out in orange. And for this one again, I hid everything to the left and to the right of it because I only want the center flower, which is going to be in yellow. Now, for these right here, let me scoot it over so you could see what I'm talking about. This one here, this one had all 3 of them in here, okay? But I only decided to go with this one here on the left So I hid that part. And the reason why I wanted that, because when I first cut them out, I thought I was going to use them by himself, but I decided to give it a little bit more, to kind of kick it up a notch, I should say. So what I did was I got this and I moved it over this flower here because I wanted this flower here to kind of have like a cute background to it, like, you know, have it to have petals, I should say. So that's why I cut that out. I copied that 2 times, okay? So that's how it kind of looks like a mess. And also on this one, let me show you, let me zoom in on here. It seemed like the leaves were a different, all the leaves should be different color, but what I did was I hid everything. Let me go ahead and show you everything that was on this one. See how everything was there? But what I did was I hid everything here, and I copied this 3 times because I wanted my leaves to be green. So that's why you see the 3 leaves right here. Let me scooch them over. Okay, like I said, it looks a mess, but I'm going to show you how I put it on my actual mat, because I've had a couple of questions on how I place them all on my mat. Somebody had a question, because if you look at it, if you turn it this way, this is the way it's supposed to go. This is the way the mat goes into your Cricut, okay? Somebody had a question where when they plug this into the Cricut, they wanted to know, can they use the actual Cricut to move your little cursor around? I guess that's what you call it, but I think it only goes when you're using your Gypsy with the actual Cricut machine. You're supposed to only control it with the Gypsy, I should say, unless you have an emergency stop. You could go ahead and use the Cricut to stop it. But somebody's question was to move the cursor over. So this is why I wanted to show you how everything's laid out on my mat here. And I'm going to show you that's exactly how you should lay it on your actual mat. So I'm going to show that to you right now. Okay, I hope I got all of this in the camera here. This is where the frame is going to cut out. And this is where I show you where the orange flower, this is going to be the stems, which I'm sorry I forgot to show you that. This is where the little yellow flower is going to come out. This is going to be where the leaves are. And this is where another flower and those 2 bigger flowers that I showed you that I'm going to shadow behind the small ones. So this is pretty much how it looks on your mat before you cut it out. And like I said, if you place it on your mat the way it is on your Gypsy, it will go perfectly. And you don't have to worry about moving anything by hand with the Cricut, okay? So I'm going to show you how I actually put the card together already. Okay, here goes my beautiful happy card, okay? I went ahead and I used 2 different Peachy Keen stamps for this. And the first one I used for the cute, actually, you know, I picked this one up when I was there at CHA. I was so excited because I haven't seen these before. This is the Cutie Pie Face Assortment, which I used for this one and the small flower. And this other one I discovered, so cute. It's called Cheerios Face Assortment Package. And I chose to use that face, which was really cute. And I used that on the bigger flower here to the right. So this is what I was talking about, how I made those other ones bigger because I wanted it to go behind. I made it a little different from what it was on the actual cartridge. And this little circle in the background, I just used my 1-inch punch, just to give it a little bit of color behind the yellow so it won't be all yellow. The thank you stamp, I couldn't find one small enough, so I came across this one that had in my stash. This is actually called Round and Round, and this is a limited edition that Paper Tray Inc. had, and that's where I got the little thank you stamp from. Really cute set. And that's about it, and just all my brand new paper and my little new leaf ribbon. And on my actual frame, I embossed it. I used my little wood grain stamp, and I embossed it with some clear embossing powder. And just use my white gel pen and my black Stampin' Up! Marker to go ahead and just add all the little extra touches. So I hope everybody liked my little French Manor Meets Live Simply card. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you back here tomorrow with the winner of the My Pink Stamper stamp set. So if you go to my blog, go to www.creativeTimeForMe.com, and you still have a chance to enter in that contest, and I will go ahead and leave a link to that on this post. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.